Greetings, Doc John here, and I am the Entreprofessor. This episode should be very illuminating. Yes, it's time to upgrade my lights. So for those of you who saw some of my earlier videos about green screen, know that I got a kit that had the green screen, the frame, the box lights, the umbrella lights, everything I needed to get started with a green screen. And that's been great because that's been really helpful to learn what I'm doing. But between the green screen and a small filtered LED light, I've been able to get reasonable picture quality. However, I do feel like I'm pretty washed out most of the time. And that's probably because the umbrella lights I'm using are one tone, they can't be dimmed. They are diffused through the umbrellas, but it's a bright fluorescent white light that just really throws a lot of light on the scene and makes it really hard to control that. So I would like to improve the quality of the visual. So the lighting upgrade is the next thing that's happening with my studio. If you've seen my studio, it's a fairly small space, and I've been able to make good use of the space. But one of the challenges is the lights between the box lights and the umbrella lights are very large, and it makes the whole space feel very cramped. It also means that I'm not giving enough space between me and the green screen to be able to get the best quality that I want there and to get the distinction around the edges that I want. So a lot of times I get compliments. In fact, sometimes people don't realize I'm using a green screen if I use a scene that is very realistic. But I can still see the edges, and I can still see that I'm very washed out, and I'd like to have more control to be able to have the lighting kind of tone on my face and on the scene based on what I'm doing. So sometimes that may mean I just want a very natural look. Sometimes I may want to cast a different, maybe a color or a different hue. And so I want to have that flexibility. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the new lighting kit that I just received, just arrived in the last day or so. And we'll talk a little bit about it. What I purchased was the GVM, and that stands for Great Video Makers. There's a very blatant value prop in the product name if I've ever heard one. And I got the kit that's called 1000D. Some of the things I like about this, number one, they're very compact. You have the ability to plug them in. You don't have to depend on batteries. And most importantly, you can control them through Bluetooth using your mobile phone, where you can change how bright they are, what color they are, lots of different changes that you can make to get the scene exactly right. So I'm really excited to make this change. I'm going to do a brief unbox right now. And the next part of this video, I will show you what my new lights look like on me, and we'll experiment with them just a little bit. Okay, so let's unbox the lights. First, let me show you the case that they come in. As you can see here, they come in a real nice carrying case. It's fairly compact, it's fairly lightweight, and there are actually two lights in here. You can buy different configurations. You can get 2 lights or you can get 3 lights. It is kind of handy. They have the little bar, the QR scan code right here. So you can scan that, and it'll take you right to the App Store or Android store, so you can download the app so you can control the lights. Okay, so let's open it up. All right, here we go. This is the first time I'm seeing inside. And a little bit awkward once you unzip it. But you can see you've got the 2 light stands. You've got the lights are in actually kind of behind they're in like a little cloth bag here. So everything all in this nice little carry-on bag that if you want to take it somewhere to record on location, you have the ability to do that. Okay. Here we have each of the stands. These stands are very similar to most of the lighting features that I have. They kind of come in like a velvety bag, which is kind of interesting. But these are much like most of the other light stands that I have. They usually have several different knuckle joints that you can pull up. And you have the ability, depending on the kind of light you have, they have the ones that can clamp on. Or if you have the ones that are more like a regular tripod, it's got the small thread there. And then you can just open these up and set them up to hold the lights. Okay, in this box, we have, suspense is killing me. Okay, looks like this is like all the power cords and all the, everything that you need to run the lights. Now, one of the things I mentioned I like about these is you have the ability to plug these in so that you can have direct from the wall power, but you also have the ability to run these lights on a battery, so it gives you a lot of flexibility. Okay, finally, there's a nice flap in here that's kind of a separating, like a divider that protects everything. And then the lights themselves come in these nice velvety bags, kind of like the stand did. So everything comes in those. And when we pull these out, what you'll see here is these are a little tricky to get out of the bag. They're very compact compared to a lot of the other lights, particularly the umbrella lights, which take up a lot of space. As you can see, it's about I guess about a 10 by 6 thing there. They're very narrow. They're not bulky. They've got these flaps. I know there's a name for these. I don't know what they are, so I'll have to look that up. But you have the ability then to kind of control if you want to kind of cast a shadow in a particular direction, or if you want to kind of limit the amount of light. You've got a lot of options there. On the back, you've got this great digital display panel, which gives you the ability to control the light directly from this control panel. But again, you can also control it right from your phone, so you have a lot of options there. As I mentioned, this has the ability to work on a battery as well as plugged in, which is great if you're going somewhere where you don't have quick or easy access to power. So 2 battery packs here. This actually, same battery packs I use for my smaller LED lights, so I'll be able to interchange those. And they just snap into place like that. It actually takes 2 of them, so I have several for the small lights that I have. I'm obviously going to need to get some more so that I have more to work with. But the good news is, in the meantime, I can use direct power, the plug, so I don't need this yet. But whenever I want to be able to travel with this, I'll probably add some additional batteries. The attachments, as I mentioned before, you've got that option to put the lighting on either 2 different ways, either horizontal like this or vertical on top. And so doing those 2 things will give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how the light is angled. So if you want to put it on a side angle, or if you want to put it at an upright angle, you've got a lot of options. So that gives you just a quick tour of the new equipment that I have. After I change out the lights and get this all set up, we'll take a look and see what the results are. Good news, the lights are working. The bad news, I'm purple. But at least they're working. Now I've got some work to do. So the cool thing is, it comes with an app, so I can change the color of the lights. So let's see what we can do. Now I'm feeling blue. Luke, I am your father. I feel a little jaundiced. What's happened to me? I'm disappearing. So is this the tanning booth? Ah! Okay, so it took a little while to get the lights dialed in. But there's some great things. First of all, they take up a lot less space in the room. So my office was starting to feel a little cramped with the box lights and the umbrella lights and the green screen. These lights are a lot more compact. So it definitely makes the room feel less crowded. The other thing is the light itself is a lot warmer. The lights with the umbrellas didn't really give me any flexibility to control brightness or tone or anything like that. I don't feel like I'm as washed out once I got the lights dialed in properly. As I mentioned earlier, you can control the lights from an app. So as you can see on my phone, I can control the brightness or the hue if I want whiter lights, or if I use the colors, I can control the colors and make them anything that I want. So it gives me lots of good control. Overall, I think this is a good change for my studio. It seems like a good step in moving forward in creating a good learning environment as I produce my classes here. So let's keep going.